Right, let's try this again. Uh, First try didn't work. Noise outside, family starts yapping. Not even that there's anything wrong with the fact that both of them talk while I'm recording a video. The ego, the ego I have to think why you disrupted my video. Kind of had to take a minute to try to think about that. Because I was like, yo, can everyone be quiet? I realized, no, no. Everyone has to speak in their own house. Everyone has the right. Like, don't you dare take that away from anyone. I had like 10 minutes to say what I was saying in this video, and now I feel a little bit disjointed because I don't want to repeat myself, but I feel like there's a purpose to this video that I have to complete, and that is in the context of writing, in the context of reading, in the context of trying to be somewhat of an artist. I'm depressed. Last night I was depressed. I woke up depressed, and I had a pretty bad dream. I think I've done the things to make us feel this way, and I can't really. I'm not in the mood to progress unless I get really clean, because I feel really dirty. I think if I can feel clean, I can get out of it quickly. But to get clean, I need to do a lot of things. You know, I need to clean my desk, which is fairly clean. I can do that quite quick. Hoover, I need a clean floor always. My mind, that's like there's some dirty laundry there. The other one, the blue part, that's clean. I just haven't put them away. I need to put them away. There's clothes on the radiator right now. And I need to do my sheets. And I need to go clean myself. That takes a lot of effort. That takes about 3 hours in total. For 3 loads of washing, that's about 3 hours. Everything else I can do in between that time. And I could probably even be doing something else before that time ends. And it's 12:37 on a Tuesday. So I think that you can get a sense of how quick I upload this stuff. I read a passage in the first recording. I read a passage out of Myth of Sisyphus. Not to say how I feel, but to say how hard it is to read. With fiction, you can sometimes just let your eyes go over the page and it'll absorb. For me, but with Myth of Sisyphus, I feel like I need to concentrate. Yesterday shouldn't have been a bad day because I had finished A Farewell to Arms. And I gave my review in the last attempt at recording, but I'll just say this. To me, I feel like it perfectly encapsulates what stream of consciousness should be in terms of a stream of consciousness storytelling instead of a stream of consciousness thoughts as if we're an omniscient bundling them together. This is first person stream, whereas I feel like some stuff that might be like Joyce or some other really far fetched out there. That to me feels like it's stream that an omniscient is trying to capture, and it's capturing everything all at once. So I really liked Farewell to Arms. And I finished that. It was probably about 70 pages that I'd finished. And for me, that was quite a lot because right now I'm not doing a lot of reading. And I read about 8 pages of Sisyphus, a bit of Camus, you know, and I got really upset that I only read 8. But that brings my total to 78. And I don't know why I was so sad about it. And I let that get to us, I let other things get to us, and I did some writing and I didn't fall in love with it, and I let that get to us. And now for me to let me side tangent. The purpose of this video is for me. I've seen other videos get like more than one view, and I'm not okay with that because I feel like nobody should have to subject themselves to my opinion or this sort of self journal. You know, there's a video journal. Why it's public, I'll never know. I think I have an ego, so that really makes me want to have some sort of attention. I think that recording this and putting it online gives it more value, or at least I've heard that in it, you get like a sort of internet. What do they say about OnlyFans girls again? Like that's your internet, not history, footprint. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I show you internet footprint. I'm not gonna give my take on that. This is not the channel to do it. But that's my point. The footprint. I think I kind of wanted to make a footprint. You know, uh, especially it's 26. I think maybe there's some psychological reason to why I'm doing it. Right now, I'm doing one poem a day. I was gonna do it for the entirety of January. I did it for November. I did some haikus in December, and I feel like maybe I could try it the entire year. And I say that to like bring it back. Doing this process of getting up, and my hair, I feel like my hair's in my face. To get up and to write and to do this one poem and to read and to journal and to do a couple of other things and then to do the cleaning stuff. I purposely woke up late because I felt like I wanted to, because I was depressed. I got a little bit of a stuffy nose and a sore throat last night, and I knew it would carry on till the morning. Now, right now, I feel like I've got a cough, but I let that, I let that pity sort of be an excuse, and to do all this stuff, it's hard, and I kind of want to see if my reasons change in the future, if I'm able to get stronger and better and overcome this. And I think I am going to be able to overcome this. I have a guy who I don't know too often, but I know well enough to where I care about his opinion, and I care about him. He keeps saying 2026 is our year, and it does motivate us. And I don't want to be that guy, and I don't think anybody should be that guy to where they think, oh, why are you saying this year is our year? This is corny. This is childish. Like, I've been 15 at some point. Don't hold it against people. It's a phrase. Let it be a phrase. But when he says it, I get really motivated. And yeah, I do want to say, no, I don't care about 2026 as our year. Like I'm me. I'm gonna do my own work, and it doesn't matter about what time it is. Shut up. Just let that motivate you. And it does. And it reminds us that you were 13 days in. And I go, oh, Corey, you're 13 days in. Don't break it. Don't not. I don't want to go in terms of streaks or anything like that, but don't break the momentum. And right now, it, in terms of being depressed, last year and the year before and the year before, I spent quite a lot of days in bed, about maybe twice a week on average, because I let things get to us too easily, and I let that pity become excuse too easily. And I know that. And I'm trying to grow from that, which is why I want to produce this video to make it a landmark, you know. And right now, I've got the ability to spend the rest of the day in bed. And I don't want to. And I want to explain in the video, I want to explain I've got to do this, because I want to articulate and try to weigh the eggs that are in the basket. Understand what I have to do. And I don't think that I can get up and do anything unless I record this video first. Because I feel like I need to get it off my chest. The fact that this is going to be hard. And I'm not going to transition into like, oh, all of a sudden he starts getting motivational. And no. Like, this is gonna be hard for me to even. I'm gonna have to leave the room and go to the bathroom and go downstairs to the kitchen and I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want to rot in bed and I feel depressed and I feel sick and I feel lonely. Yeah, last night I was feeling lonely. It wasn't even the nighttime, it was just the day. I think I was feeling really lonely because I'd spent all day inside, and I think that's been something in 2026 so far is I'm just spend a lot of time indoors because I don't want to go out in the cold and I have everything I need in the house to work, right? And I'm doing everything that I need to work, and this is all the things I need to do. But in this context, to write, to work, takes so much effort. On other days, I'll wake up and I'll tell you what, I'd skip a morning routine and I'd write immediately, like Hemingway. I looked into his process a while back. I tried to mimic it and I just couldn't. But there's days where I can, where before I even do anything that I have to do in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll just start getting to the keyboard, and all of a sudden everything works. And there's progress and there's effort, and the very thing that I had to wait till 2, 3 o'clock to do, because I had to get other things out the way to get to that point. I said I'd do it now, and then I did, and it's a beautiful day. It flows. Yesterday wasn't like that, but it was still a beautiful day, and I feel like it's only my emotions that take away from it. It's clouding the actual beauty of what happened. I finished a book yesterday. That should be a good day. It should always be a good day. When you finish a book, it should always be done. That's a good day. When you pick up a new book, when you go, that's always a good day. It's always a monumental achievement. Like a wow, next. But all this stuff is just sort of accumulated, and I just don't. I don't. It's hard to differentiate between what I want and what I want. You know, I don't want to do anything. I want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to watch some Dragon Ball. I want to scroll through TikToks. I want to do nothing. But in my heart, I can't do nothing. In my heart, like, yes, it'll feel good to do all that stuff, but how good would it feel to get that morning routine out the way? To do some laundry, to do some reading, to do some writing. And later on, we have this Tuesday pub thing, where we just go and talk. And I feel like I don't want to do it, but I feel like I should because I haven't been in a while. And a lot of people have already said they don't want to go, so I don't want to leave a couple of guys by the lonesome. I want to go and strike up some good convo and just see what's up, see how everyone's feeling. Especially with things up and coming. But then that brings me back onto the diet. Right now I'm weighing at about. I've got some chub. I'm weighing at about 93. If the diets worked, I was at 94. I was at 95. So I think I'm weighing at about 93 point maybe 4 to 7. Maybe even less if I'm lucky, but it takes a lot to not just order in a big KFC, like a whole bucket. That's my sin. That's my thing. whenever I get really depressed, it's straight up just an 8-piece fillets, wings. If I want to eat more, corn. If I don't, it'll be like slaw and gravy. I don't want to do that, you know? I want to have my 3 meals. I want to space it out. I want to be a normal person. I want to be a guy who doesn't need to rely on copious amounts of food just to feel okay. Which I know I'll feel shit afterwards. Like, that's a given. But you know how that stuff is. You know how that stuff is. You always feel like you need to do something in the moment. And you know you're going to feel shit like shit afterwards. But that's the point. That's the point. You know, it's self-abuse or whatever. But, you know, it's in a guise of self-pity. It's in a guise of the wants rather than the needs. And that's the thing that's the battle. One sec. Recording a video. Can you give us like 10 minutes? Mom's off to work. I'm not gonna like cut that out. Why would I? But yeah, Mom's off to work. I get kind of defensive when I say stuff like that. Because I feel young when I say that, but yeah. I am young. I am young and I am lucky. And I think that's the stuff that makes me a little bit motivated. In my last video I said how I was financially stable. And I am. You know, I went to uni and I didn't leave my hometown to go anywhere. I thought, we have a couple of unis. I'm not going to leave. Why would I leave? You know, and I worked before uni and I saved up quite a lot. And I'm in a position where the only things I have to worry about is the creative process. It is the day. It's about keeping myself clean. Well, obviously this is for a finite amount of time, you know. But I'm in a process where I'm subsidized. I'm in a process where I'm being paid for my work in a way. I'm being paid for my creativity. Of course, there are loans and stuff, but I should be grateful for that. I do feel as though I'm past the undergrad stage, but I also have to recognize that I'm not a big strapping bloody construction worker who you know works 60 hours a week and gets his bag. Then again, that's not my thing. The world is complex. I'm insecure about that stuff, but I can't let that get to us. I'm in a position where my entire focus right now is on the improvement of the creative process. I've chosen a master's degree and I've put myself in a very comfortable position. I'm thankful and grateful for that position. And the issue and the core of this video is that I'm wasting that. I'm squandering that by being in that position and not living the gratitude. If I'm to sit back, go into bed, not get right, then I'm squandering all of that gift. I'm squandering all of that goodness that I put myself in the position to do this thing. And I'm wasting it. And I'll regret it. And I know I will, because that was 25, that was 24, that was 23. That's what life is like. It 2-3 days in bed a week, being depressed. Not because I'm alright, like that's not the point, right? If you've thought that, because I've connected the dots there, like, no, they're different things. you're not depressed because you're a writer. You're a writer, and you know, like sure, but I don't like that. Like that's a thing. I don't like that. That's a thing that's attached to me. So, yeah, when I hear the whole in the big 26, the grand 26, I think is what's the moniker. I like it. And the grand 26, going back to 2016, I don't want to have those days in bed. I don't want to have those days where I just give up completely. I go from hope to despair. There's never an in between. I want to be able to grow to gain an in between, so I can almost give myself. It's like I'm crafting steps, steps of therapy, of aid, of gaining the ability to get out of despair, or to not be delusional in my hope, you know, but to accept the situation. I can't say all's gonna be well, always, all the time, but if I can come down a peg, not go to despair, but go down a peg and say, you might not succeed in this, but where's the wiggle room? Where can we find the other avenue? Where can we grow? How can we gain from this? If you're not going to win a poetry competition, how can you get some confidence from this? How can you go and draft that poem? How can you go look back at that poem? How can you be grateful for the little bump this puts in the journey of life? How can you be okay with that? Rather than, I didn't get it, I'm a terrible writer and I deserve to lose everything and I'm nobody. Instead of doing that, where's the balance in life? How can I be normal, simple? How can I be okay with my emotions and be able to control myself? I want to control myself. Right now, that's the thing. Is controlling myself. I'm trying to control myself, and I'm trying to put myself in a position to where I can write. Because I don't know if I'm gonna agree with this wholeheartedly, but I'm not a writer. I'm not the writer and only the writer. My entire life and purpose doesn't serve to only be a writer. It's like if you take, for example, I've seen clips which are nice edits of Dennis Rodman. You take Dennis Rodman, and you've got them clips of him, lunging out of bounds and just wafting the ball back in. Jordan gets it, hits a three or something, and then the clip transitions to him wanting to be a better father, and you'll get hit with that Adrian Lenker. You get hit with that. I don't know. There's a song in mind I can't put my name on, and there's a father in there. He's not just a basketball player. I'm not just a writer. I'm a person. And all these things don't serve to make me a better writer. Life won't hit me with trials and tribulations so I can be a better writer. It'll be so I can be a better me, first and foremost. It's a part of me, but it's not the whole of me. And that's why all these things need to happen, I think. I need to get my mind clean, and I need to get my thoughts clean. Even if it takes up the majority of the day and I don't really get anything done. If I just stay like this, until tomorrow, I'll have to dig myself out the hole again tomorrow, and I don't want to do that. I think I can write this day off as maybe not the world's greatest day, but I am alive, and I get the chance to dig myself out the hole. So maybe today is that day where I can say to myself, this is the day where you dig yourself out the hole, where you don't stay in bed, and not every episode is the end fight scene. Some episodes are a small bit of catharsis where your character breaks down and needs to just get back up somehow. And I need to get back up somehow. And that's all I have to do. And today I don't need to get back up and then write 10,000 words. If I write 10,000 words, that'll be a different time. That'll be a different focus. Because I'd have done all these things I've said in the video that I had to get done, you know. I'd have get myself clean, I'd have get my mind right, and I'd have got the important thing done. And then I've been in the position to where I've strengthened myself and I can go at it. But I don't put my hope in that. I put my hope in being clean and being right, you know, and trying to just be a better person. And then I can go after whatever it is that I need to go after. And now it's 1 o'clock. And if I'm to go to this pub, that'll be 7ish. Still, I don't feel strong. But I want to end this on a happy note. Because why would I end it on a sad note? That's a story in it. You know, you start sad, you end happy. You start happy, you end sad. It's just one day out of 365. Just don't let it be like, don't let it slip away. And already the fact that I've made this video, the fact that I've been honest with myself, takes effort to feel clean. It takes effort to feel like a good person. Of course, feeling like a good person, being a good person, there's a whole thing in that it's going to take 9 hours to get through. I don't want to. But, yeah. I can't just sit and squander the day. I gotta put a little bit of effort in. If I don't put the effort in, nothing's gonna happen. And I have everything against us in my own mind. To just not do it. And so it's not going to be the grandest fight. It's not going to be the greatest struggle. But it's just going to be just trying. It's an awful, weak attempt. But I'm okay with that. Because as long as it's an attempt, it's good enough. And I'm going to do it. You know. Give him a step, take a mile. Type of thing. This video's been too long. I hope nobody watches it. But to me in the future, I hope this day was good for you, lad. I hope that you've grown and you're able to handle this stuff better. And you're able to get through things. You're able to bounce back a little bit quicker because you have that strength, because you have that fight, that inspiration, that motivation, whatever it might be. But I'm postponing the end of this video because I have to go do it now, and well, that's life, isn't it? Doing it is the hardest thing. So I gotta go do the hard thing. Oh, by the way, if you've made it this far, why? Why?